Hey learners, this video is going to be part 1 of a broader discussion I would like to have on the melee slasher genre. In this video, we will talk about what constitutes a melee slasher, and in the next video, we'll go over the potential future the genre has. Let's begin. So what exactly is a melee slasher? We're already off to a bad start here, as I know that some people would disagree with my terminology and my opinions. But what I'm going to share in this video, I truly believe to be the most fitting interpretation of this genre and how it fits into the gaming industry. In my opinion, to be considered a melee slasher, you need to be a melee-focused game with these mechanics at the core of your gameplay. Real-time tracers on weapons, manipulating attacks not just to aim, but to make them take less or more time to reach their target, mix-ups such as feints, kicks, jabs, etc. Now, let's explain each of these points. Real-time tracers refers to a very specific way of registering attacks in the game engine. Tracers are applied to the weapon models in-game, which are then used in real time to determine what part of the weapon deals damage. This system, combined with the freedom of your camera control as opposed to a lock-on system, allows for many options in the game's combat. This system was actually derived from first-person shooters, which function pretty much identically, except with tracers applied to bullets instead of blades. This functionality of real-time tracers is then further utilized by the players of this genre to manipulate attacks in real time by looking away or towards their opponents while in the release window of their attacks. This form of gameplay, on top of the general skill needed to properly aim said attacks and not miss, is referred to as dragging. Dragging, for the most part, is used to accelerate or delay at the point in the animation that the attack collides with the target, causing the enemy player to mistime their parry. It isn't too dissimilar to how an Elden Ring boss holds their attack and waits for you to dodge or parry before fully committing. Mix-ups such as feints, kicks, or jabs should be in the game to create a more interesting combat environment. While it may be possible to develop a melee slasher without such things, a game reliant on swing manipulation alone has never been attempted, and probably never will. In games like Chivalry 2, kicks are used as guard breaks, and in my opinion, are absolutely necessary as a feature. Anyway, in my opinion, these 3 factors are absolutely necessary for me to consider a video game a melee slasher. A game such as Dark and Darker actually has some aspects of melee slashers, but I would not consider it in the same genre due to a lack of swing manipulation being used to take less or more time to reach their target. In Dark and Darker, the only importance placed on swing manipulation is aiming for headshots and potentially dragging your attacks to hit multiple targets at the same time. This, along with the lack of any significant mix-ups, causes the gameplay to be drastically different from a melee slasher. Vermintide 2 is also a game worth looking at, but as with Dark and Darker, I do not consider it a melee slasher as the core gameplay doesn't really involve purposefully changing the timing of your attacks. You simply aim your attacks at weak points. That is to say, Dark and Darker and Vermintide 2 are both very good games, just not part of this specific genre. As a footnote, the title of melee slasher is fairly new to my knowledge, as melee slashers of the past referred to themselves as first-person melee titles. In fact, it was a major selling point of Chivalry Medieval Warfare. Regardless, somewhere down the line, melee slashers became a more apt game title for the genre. Perhaps this is because of the prominence of third person in most recent Chivalry 2, but I really don't know. Anyway, that's all for this video.